All right, so we've gone over the importance of dissociating joint movement. That's being able to control one joint at a time. We've gone over radiating tension, bringing in multiple muscle groups to increase force capacity of the movement we're trying to do and to increase force control of what we're trying to do. So now we're gonna do the upper body, right? We've done the lower body, now the upper body. So we're gonna do the wrists, the elbows, and the shoulders. The shoulders are a particularly tricky one because they have a ton of mobility, right? The hips are a lot more stable than the shoulders, and the shoulders are really, really mobile, which is great, but the more mobile something is, typically the less stable it is. So we need to learn how to control the shoulders if we want to do really complex movements or if we want to get ourselves out of pain or both. So first we're going to start with the wrists, and we're going to bring our elbows at 90 degrees. You can do this kneeling, seated, you can do it on a chair, it doesn't really matter. As long as you can really, really control the movement, that's what we're trying to do. So we're gonna go hands up like this, elbows pulled into the side, we're gonna pull those lats in, scaps, abs really tight. So again, we're bracing really hard. Even though we're just moving the wrist, we're still trying to bring a brace so we can radiate tension. Imagine you have something on your forearm here, like your cell phone or something like that, a deck of cards, and we're trying to keep that there the entire time. So typically as people come into internal rotation like this, internal rotation and then extension, they start to roll with the elbow in like that to get that further movement. That's what we want to break apart. So again, imagine something is sitting on top of here and I dropped it, and you're not doing it the right way. So really, really tight. First what we're going to do is we're going to flex the wrists. We're flexing those wrists. Now we're going to internally rotate. That's coming towards the body. And then we're going to extend, 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 all the way down. Again, we're doing this as hard as we possibly can. We're going real slow. Now externally rotate and then flex. Good, that's a half of one. Now we're going the opposite direction. We're going to externally rotate, extend, internally rotate, flex. Good, there's one. We're going to do it again. Internally rotate. Again, we're trying to keep those forearms nice and flat. You should feel these little tiny muscles in your forearms working. Good, one more. Half time around, externally rotate, extend, internally rotate, flex. Good. Ooh, you feel these muscles burning. Right, so again, especially with the wrist, ton of mobility, lots of different bones going on here, lots of control to be had. So it's easy to flex, it's easy to extend, it's easy to internally rotate, externally rotate, but when we do multiple movements at once, so we don't just have three planes, we have a dynamic plane where we move in and out of three planes all at the same time. So different muscles need to control that movement, and we're passing off the responsibility from one muscle group to the next. And it's not just like, oh, here you go, hot potato. It's a slow transfer of less of this muscle, more of that muscle. And when we can do that, we have much better control. One, we're gonna bring ourselves out of pain, but we're gonna be way more efficient in our movement. Now we're going elbows. All right, so we're gonna keep the wrist fixed. So I don't wanna be moving my wrist. I wanna keep those fixed, and it's just gonna be from the elbows. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna externally rotate the elbow. So we're trying to pull our pinkies or the blade of our hand up towards the ceiling as far as we possibly can. And then we're going to flex the elbow. Now we're gonna rotate as far as we possibly can, taking these thumbs and trying to rotate away from my body as far as I can. I'm gonna continue to push farther, farther, farther. Extend. Now going opposite direction, try to pull those pinkies up towards the ceiling. All the way up. Good. Again. Down, extend. Good, now we're gonna stay extended. This time we're gonna flex up. Good, now we're gonna rotate. Extend, rotate, flex. Good, one more. Boom. Really try to fight for that extra position, fight for that rotation. Good. Ooh. Working up a sweat doing that. All right, so if you find yourself pulling your shoulder blades into it or pulling your shoulder into it, that's not good. We want to break apart that movement. All right, so now we're gonna do our shoulders. You can do it kneeling like this, you can do it standing. I kind of like to do it standing, but for the video I'm gonna do it kneeling. Again, some people, it just kind of hurts their knees to kneel. You can totally do it standing. But again, we're trying to really get tight. The shoulder and the hips are similar, where they're definitely gonna be much harder to do, a lot more effort. So we're gonna have to really pull in the abs. We're gonna have to pull in the shoulder blades, the upper back, and we're gonna have to really squeeze, radiate tension. So I'm gonna take this hand here, if I'm working this shoulder, and I'm gonna hold out to the side, I can squeeze it on some as hard as I possibly can. So again, the arm's gonna stay perfectly straight. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna externally rotate So we're trying to take the blade of our pinky here, we're trying to rotate it up and away outside of our body like this. So I'm trying to pull as far as I possibly can, radiate tension, abs tight, back tight, and I'm coming up and across my body like this, all the way up, abs really tight. I'm trying to fight for that position, pull it as far back as I possibly can. I'm not trying to break through my spine like this, that's why my abs are really tight. Abs tight, pull far back. Once I get to that end position, a little bit further back, now I'm gonna rotate as hard as I possibly can, fight for that rotation. Don't let that shoulder hike up, that's the scaps. We don't want to bring the scaps into it, we're just trying to work the shoulder joint, right? So I'm here, I'm rotating, the scaps are pulled down. Good. So that's a half of one. Now we're gonna start here, we're really trying to rotate. Again, we're trying to fight for that rotation, trying to pull it further and further and further, create more and more joint space. Here we go. Tight, all the way back, abs tight. All the way up and around, externally rotate, come across the body. Good, one more time. All the way up. Good, fight for that position, don't let the shoulder hike up. Rotate, continue to rotate as far as you can. Pull it, pull it, pull it. Down and around, good, half of one more. Tight, all the way up, big giant circle. Now I'm coming up. Rotate, good, ooh. Starting to be some work here. All right, now I'm gonna radiate tension with this hand, squeezing tight, my abs are tight, my back is tight. I'm trying to take my shoulder blades and pull them together and down like this. Tight. Externally rotate. Really fight for that back position. A little bit further. I'm gonna rotate, continue to rotate, rotate. Big giant circle behind you. All right, big deep breath. Brace. All the way back. And then rotate. Don't let that torso turn. Don't let the shoulders hike up. I'm trying to stay perfectly still. Here we go, one more. Tight. Externally rotate as far as you can. Coming across the body. Now in our overhead position, trying to reach as far back as we possibly can with that shoulder blade pulled down. Now we're gonna internally rotate. Internally rotate, fight for that. Feel that bone rotating in the socket. Good, half of one more, and then we're done. Ready? All the way back. Here we go. Pull it, rotate, and across. Good. All right. That's our wrist, elbow, and shoulders. We're gonna do scaps in just a minute. All right, now we're gonna work our scaps. All right, so this is different from the shoulder, but still upper body. Most people have very poor scapular control. We're gonna go over some movements that we're gonna do here. So first, what we're gonna do is we have elevation and depression. So shrug up, shrug down. That's depression, elevate. Good. And we have protraction and retraction. Squeeze them together, push them apart. Protraction, retraction. So now we're going to start to do multiple of those movements at the same time. So first we're going to start relaxed, and we're going to keep our arms out straight like this. So we're really trying to squeeze those hands, elbows are locked out, abs are tight. We're not trying to move the shoulders, we're trying to move just the scaps on the rib cage. All right, so first thing that she's going to do is she's going to shrug up, she's going to elevate, and then she's going to protract, push them out, long, and then she's going to depress, retract. Up, out, down, in. Good, now we're gonna reverse it. Okay, so she's gonna protract while she's depressed, elevate, retract, depress, protract, elevate. Good. We're gonna do two in each direction. We're gonna do as hard as we possibly can. So we're really trying to pull from the sides, going like this. Right, we're gonna start depressed, protract, elevate, retract. Really get that move. Don't break through the spine while you're doing it. Abs are real tight. Good. Depress, protract, elevate. Now we're going to stay elevated. We're going to depress, retract, elevate. Boom. So if you can't do these movements, you'll find that one side might be a little bit, come on, let's go. Then we're gonna have to work on that. So this big on control. We don't want to break through the spine. We don't want to break through the abs. Abs are really, really tight. Good. Once we can really control the scaps, and then we can control the shoulder joint, these are separate things. The shoulder joint is the humerus bone attaching to the scap, and how we move with these two bones together. The scap is going to be an entirely different joint and how it sits on the rib cage. So this is going to be big time in all of our upper body movements. Where is our scap supposed to be? While are we actually rotating the shoulder? Are we depressed? Are we protracted? There's lots of different things. We bench press, when we squeeze these together back and down. The shoulders be externally rotated. Are you doing that while you're benching? Probably not. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But can you control that? That's the big question. So that's our upper body car series. Stay tuned. We're going to do our spinal series next.